Hello, this is Morgana Ray here with you for a money honey moment. And I received a question from a client in one of my programs that I thought was so good that I really wanted to answer it for as wide an audience as possible, because this is the kind of question that my kind of people struggle with. And so the question is, what do I need to do to feel like I deserve to charge high fees? I love that question because the only kind of person who asks that kind of question is somebody who cares about integrity, cares about others. Sociopaths don't have to worry about that because they're only in it for themselves, and there's no worry about being worthy or deserving or giving value. So yay, you, all of you who care about deserving. It's funny because I have this international reputation as this money coach and this wealth coach and all that kind of stuff, but it's not about how much can I get. That is so fear-based. That's not wealth. So I'm going to answer the question from a couple different angles because I think there's more than one issue in this question. So some inner stuff and some of my own practical strategies. Hi, oh my God, Rick Talon, one of my hero coaches, one of the mentors from my baby years as a coach almost 20 years ago. Oh, wow, yay, yay. So glad to see you here. Tanya, Wendy, lots of great people are tuning in, yay. So there are two things going on that I see. First, there's the question, the big question of your deservingness in general, and this is your relationship with life. Like, how lovable are you? How worthy are you? This is the really big stuff that's much bigger than just money. Your deservingness to exist. Like, that is the biggest question I think every human being grapples with at some time in our life. And so we want to look at that first. And related to that is our relationship with money, because if we're going to be really honest here and take off all of our abundance, law of attraction party hats and set them aside for a second, if we're going to be really honest, there is a lot of crap that is going on in the world for money, associated with money, in the name of money: human trafficking, climate disaster, the extinction of animals, add it on and on and on. And if you are in any sense a sensitive, ethical human being, you've noticed that, and it creates inner conflict. So what we want to do first is create a different relationship with money so that you're not at conflict, so that it is only in your life as an ally for your values, and you get to reject the rest. I think the underlying question behind this, what do I need to do to feel like I deserve a high fee, is always going to come down to, like, how do I charge a high fee and be a good person? And I think that is a great question to ask. We are not here to thrive and become wealthy by hurting others. So that brings us to the other part of this question, which is, make sure you are giving value. Whatever you charge, whether it's $50 or $50,000, you want to know in every cell of your being that you are giving more than you're asking for, that you are solving a problem that is more painful than the investment that you are receiving. You want it to always be win-win-win, and you want somebody else investing in you to be a really good, empowering experience that they are going to be glad they did for years and years and years to come. So how do you do that? There are a lot of coaches out there who are telling people who just started that they should charge huge fees. I'm not one of those. I think that's too much pressure, and you need to know that you can help first. So, like going back to having a good relationship with money, and I have tons and tons of free resources about that at morganaray.com. I'm not going to be teaching my usual stuff here, but if you want like all that stuff, morganaray.com, and I'll post the link. Hi, Tracy. Oh, thank you. Start smaller. Start always at a price where you feel generous and collect results. You want to charge a high fee. The easiest way to do that is to start at a fee that doesn't scare you, that you would pay in a nanosecond knowing what the benefits are, and start collecting success stories. And that is what is going to build, I think, even more important than proving to other people how good you are, which is what we do, what we use testimonials for. I think way more important is to prove to yourself your positive impact. The more people you help, the more proof you have, the more evidence. Here's what happens is the price that was fair, but maybe a little stretch in the beginning, starts to feel out of integrity. There comes a moment for me where like the price that I'm charging that may have been really big at some point starts to feel like self-betrayal. I actually feel it physically, kind of the sinking in my chest. And that's when I know that it's time to grow the fee. And honestly, it can be scary because charging too little feels very safe. Although, sidebar, I've also noticed that when I charge too little, my client stream dries up, because in my relationship with money, the universe, whatever you want to call it, I'm rewarded for integrity. So when I'm charging too little, people start to not believe me or start to not be attracted. Big surprise, that they didn't cover that in macroeconomics. So start smaller and build up your social proof. And then, especially when you start to get too many people to serve well, woo, that's like, really big alarm, that it's time to work with fewer people, charge more so that you don't have to hold back. And by the way, that's a huge value of mine, is not being stingy. If you find that you're being stingy and you're holding back on giving transformation, you're probably charging too little. So if you want to feel like you deserve a high fee, two things need to be separated. First, you aren't charging what you're worth, because you're a miracle, you're a human being. There is no dollar amount that, let's just say you're worth infinity. So let's take that off the table. What is the value of the transformation you offer, that you can feel good about it, that you can feel like Santa Claus when you give somebody an opportunity to invest? Then you'll feel really good about it, because not only do you feel good about the investment, they feel good about the investment, and you know what you can provide, and you know the value of what you can provide. So you can be a good person and charge a high fee, and you do not have to do your biggest fee today. What even feels like a high fee today will change, evolve, and look smaller and smaller and smaller the more you serve people, the more good results you get. Oh, and Julie says, thanks for speaking the truth, not always defined in our industry. Oh, thank you so much. Any questions, just type them in. Rick says, big impact and up the game with bigger income. Yeah, bigger income, bigger impact. Don't make it about what you deserve, because honestly, as human beings, our vote on our value as an entity is going to go up and down like every moment of every day, not a reliable source of information. But keep focusing on what do you do for other people and their happiness and the change you make and what that is worth, and collect those success stories and get better and better and better at what you do. And there comes a time when you have to charge a higher fee, because that is the only right, fair, and in integrity thing to do. So thank you for joining. Mwah! And I'll see you guys all later.